Season 4, Episode 22 of the Powerskateshow. For the first time in 2022, it's about time that we finally have a show. You guys know who we are. I'm Alex Stossel. Probably the miserable Alex Stossel, but we will get to it. We will get to it. Along with...
We are both sharing misery this week. That's all I'm going to say.
Along with Grant Flood from Floods to Sports Zone. Grant, how we doing? And happy 2022.
Well, happy 2022 to you too, Alex, and for everyone watching. Hope you guys had a good new year, and hope you guys enjoy this episode. Got quite a bit of topics to talk about, a returning nostalgia of the week, a certain player who shouldn't be in the news. He's all over the news now. He may be potentially getting signed sometime before the weekend. And yeah, a lot of other rumors, game alerts, all that other stuff. It's here. So this should be one heck of an episode to begin 2022. And me and Alex, we're both going to have our rant hours, I can assure you.
Oh, and we have a certain rookie who we've been dying for a while. And Grant, I think that we have some news to talk about. But we'll explain later on.
Oh, and the major announcement, if you haven't heard.
We will get to it first, but we started a moment of silence in memory of Teddy Balkin, who sadly passed away on the ice. Can I just be honest with you for a second? I've had friends who passed away at a young age, for like the past couple of months. I've had that happen a week before Christmas. It's really sad for, like as a young hockey player like me who's from Maryland, who does Maryland is like a rarely hockey community, but as a young kid from Maryland and just seeing this devastating news, it's so sad, man. Like what we've talked about from the when Caleb Reimer passed away from the Edmonton Oil Kings. If you're around 15, 16, or 17, you got the whole entire world to heavy you. You know what I mean? It's really shocking to hear about this. And our thoughts and prayers go out to his teammates, Brunswick and St. Luke's hockey teams, who've seen that unfortunate situation.
Yeah, just absolutely awful. I mean, if you are playing the sport you love and you pass away at 14 years old, I mean, that is just beyond devastating. I mean, it's an unfortunate situation that obviously happened, and, death really shouldn't happen when you're playing the game you love, but unfortunately, freak accidents are going to occur. And, just really unfortunate stuff.
Yeah. All right. Now to get that out of the way, we have some major news to talk about here on this channel, right, Grant?
That's right.
We got our first player interview. Me and this is probably our third breakout. He plays for USA Hockey, Mr. Charlie Serrato. We should give it up to Charlie Serrato.
Oh, we are definitely giving him a round of applause. Wanting to come on the program, and we got an interview set for Saturday night. I mean, Alex and I, we've already got our questions ready to go. We are amped up for this. Again, it took 4 seasons, but we finally got our first ever interview. and it's going to be a blast. Powerskateshow special this Saturday at 7:15 Eastern. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I want to thank Charlie for wanting to come on the program as well.
Absolutely. We were supposed to have Rob Ray back in season 2.
That's right. Rob Ray completely ignored us. Unreal.
But no, Charlie is the first one to respond. And also, where there no day has occurred, let's give it to Miles Gundy from the Maryland Black Bears, who second respond us. But the day has not been announced yet. We're getting to it. We're talking about it. We will announce it. When will the interview occur for Miles Gundy?
Yes, we will definitely keep you updated if we get any other junior hockey players or what have you contacting us and potential interviews in the future. But for right now, it seems this one is set. So, yeah. We got a little backstage action. We do got another one hopefully coming shortly afterwards.
Yeah. All right, now with some advertising, you guys have to follow the Powerskateshow Best in the Game. And did I say 1.4 followers by the end of the year? But it's all right. Yes, you guys have to follow Powerskateshow for amazing hockey news and some new templates. This is an example. It's not official yet. Maybe we go back to the main templates for like coloring stuff for our stories. We're going to figure it out in the near future. These are examples, and hopefully you guys enjoy future templates. And not only that, if you're hockey fans or any other sports fans, you're required to follow franchise sports news, the best in the game. And look at these! It's like news articles, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep. And then you see, obviously, Power Skate, me and Alex collaborate on some posts, but you get highlights, you get the news, you get throwback stuff, but primarily news. And, basically, it's a lot of fun to do now. Obviously, still trying to get Fletcher Sports Zone back. It's looking pretty bleak that'll happen. So we are, I would like to say now, officially rocking the franchise sports news. And, we had over 100 followers last weekend, and the account's doing well so far. So appreciate everyone who's stopping by so far.
Yes. And we have a certain sum of, we will get to it. You guys calm down. If you guys are about to type something in chat, just hold on before we get it. I promise you. You know what? Let's start fresh. The Stars put 3 defensemen on the market. Report the Flyers, Panthers, and Sharks have interest on Mr. John Klingberg.
Yeah, this is
a trade.
Yeah, this is very interesting about Klingberg. He does not think that the Stars want any part to do with him anymore. Contract extension talks have gone dry, and he's saying right now, trade me while I still have my value before the trade deadline in March. Stars are going to lose a pretty good defenseman either or. You're not going to want to overpay someone like Klingberg, who's already been in the league. We've already basically seen his ceiling. I really don't think he can go anything past that 2017, 2018 type of level performance. But what I will say is for a young team, say, for example, a team who has interest in him like the Panthers or even another young team like Seattle or Ottawa, you're going to want to get this guy as a stepping stone closer to finishing your rebuild, because at that point you would acquire a first-line defenseman who, yes, will be asking for money, but if you're low on the salary cap issue, that's not going to really matter as much. You can give him a 5-6 year deal probably, and your contract is set. Klingberg's going to be an interesting name to watch over the deadline, though. But ultimately, I do think he's out of Dallas come March.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto, I guess you have to take note, because like, yes, your team's good. You got a good defense, but you have to find something else to do. Anaheim, I can see it happening. I can see it. Let's see. I think for a team like, all right, you know what? For Dallas, once Klingberg gets moved, you're gonna see Thomas Harley back in action.
Oh, for sure.
So Harley is up and ready. He's still in Texas as far as I know, or last time I checked. Played a little bit of NHL games, but Harley is gonna be a Klingberg replacement. Like, yes, he's not ready to be a top 2 defenseman. He's still young, but he's gonna be the replacement in the future. You have Mira Heiskanen, Esa Lindell. Thomas Harley is ready to go. Now, with that being said, let's go on Powerskate. How about that? You know what? To start off the year, what a performance for the St. Louis Blues. What a performance for the Winter Classic. -10 outside.
The coldest hockey game and third coldest professional sports game ever. This one, right here.
And you know what?
A round of applause for the fans who would sit through this.
Yeah, and also a round of applause for Jordan Kyrou, who set a Winter Classic or an outdoor game record.
4 points. Bad man.
And if you have not yet checked my play-by-play calls, it's still on the Instagram page. All right. Are you ready? A certain person finally is playing an NHL game. Mr. Marco Rossi!
Oh my goodness. I was ecstatic to hear him get called up. Unfortunately, it was against the Bruins, so I kind of had to root against him, just a smidge. But ultimately, Marco Rossi getting his shot in the NHL. He's deserved his shot in the NHL, not being able to play hardly at all last year because of all his COVID symptoms and injuries just holding him back. Finally gets the call up. To my knowledge, he's yet to score his first career goal, but you know, that's okay. He's not projected to score a few games into his career. This guy will eventually merge into that first-line center, that guy who is going to replace Mikko Koivu's footsteps. He is a guy who you give him a couple of years, we're looking at future all-star. I have compared him to Alexander Barkov in the past. I still think that that's a pretty fair I guess, assessment, but comparison. But we'll see what Marco Rossi does the further and further this NHL season goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited what Marco Rossi is bringing in the future. We've been rooting for him after the draft. Like 30 seconds after he got drafted by the Wild, we were like, come on, keep the same energy, Wild fans, or increase the energy. You got Marco Rossi. And Sabres, I also have a question. Why did you not pick Rossi over Quinn? Rossi was the OHL MVP. Top point scorer with the Auto 67's OHL MVP and the CHL MVP. Jack Quinn was the most goal scorer in the OHL and the CHL.
I mean, Sabres management just doing Sabres management type things right there. I knew that was pretty stupid when I mean, Jack Quinn's good. He's good. He's a good prospect, but I wouldn't necessarily put him ahead of Marco Rossi, especially heading into the 2020 NHL draft. And again, just the fact that Rossi, even with all his injuries from last season, he tore up the AHL and is already getting called up where Quinn's still in the AHL for the most part. Yeah. Rossi's off to a better start to his professional career, to the shock of probably next to no one. We were expecting this out, Marco Rossi. And again, I think in due time, we are looking at a potential 30, 40 goal scorer right here.
Mm-hmm. We got our first nostalgia of the week. Please welcome Mr. Zane Mcintyre.
Oh, goodness. He was very good with the Providence Bruins a few years back. I know he's also spent some time on Vancouver and Carolina. But, I mean, if you're Minnesota, it's okay. I mean, you were the team who signed Andrew Hammond last year. So I guess Minnesota just likes to bring random goalies, back into the AHL spotlight. I don't know, but Zane Mcintyre, I expect him to play somewhere under 3 NHL games this year, barring a wild goalie getting injured. There's a reason why he's signing a 2-way deal. He's staying in the AHL.
Yeah. Next, Victor Rask was on waivers. And also, speaking of Minnesota, we're getting some Minnesota Wild news. Remy Pitlick was claimed by the Montreal Canadiens.
That's right. As for Victor Rask, I mean, who would have thought that, he would have been placed on waivers at the beginning of the year? Victor Rask was impressed me a lot when he was in Carolina, but I guess once he left, he never really has been the same player, and especially this year. I mean, 10 points in 22 games, that isn't atrocious by any means, but at the same time, it's not great, and you're making $4 million. You got to be performing a little bit better than 4 goals and 6 assists through 22 games. So, we'll see. I do think Rask will eventually get called up from Iowa, but again, I think he is potential trade bait. I'll probably be on the move when the trade deadline comes around for a mid-round pick of some sorts.
So, since you said that Victor Rask used to play for the Hurricanes, first Brass Bonanza of 2022. Alright, cool.
Hey, that's when he was literally at his best. I mean, Victor Rask in 5 years with Carolina at 163 points, way better than Rask's 49 career points with the Wild over 4 years.
All right, now I think this is the first time in a while that we ask a question for all of you guys on a post. Hat. Just the word hat. If the New Jersey Devils hat is on the NHL shop, will you guys buy it? Yes or no?
I want to. Will I? I doubt it, but I am intrigued. I want the entire collection. I want the hat. I want the socks. I want the actual jersey. Give me a pair of slippers while you're at it. Whatever. I would buy like the whole jersey collection for like $150.
That has the label.
Get all my clothes labeled. Why not?
All right. Anyway, we have a trade to talk about. First trade. Yeah, cool. The Blackhawks trade Alex Nylander to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Sam Lafferty. And do you want to know what's the cool thing? I actually saw Alex Nylander in person in Hershey last Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nylander yet to play a game with the Penguins. I mean, very shocking that this guy was drafted 8th overall. I don't know what that happened, but again, that was the Sabres being the Sabres, like I mentioned. And Sam Lafferty, I mean, listen, he hasn't been incredible by any means, but I think Nylander's the better player out of the two. Lafferty at least played this year, getting 2 assists in 10 games. I think Nylander's ultimately the better player, though, and he's ultimately going to, I think, whenever Pittsburgh decides to play him, I think for right now he'd be a good fit on that third line, especially for Pittsburgh's playoff run. I mean, God, the Penguins won, 11 in a row, 12 in a row? They were on a 10-game winning streak last I checked, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they beat Anaheim last night. They are unbeatable right now, and making these small little moves like this, it helps. It really does. And, when you increase that depth, that helps out playoff teams. And, Penguins did beat the Ducks 4-1 last night.
Yeah. All right. I think this is a minor transaction, but we have to give someone a round of applause. Former Humble Broncos bus crash survivor now plays for the Atlanta Gladiators, and give it up to Matthew Gomercic. Matthew Gomercic signed a professional contract with the Atlanta Gladiators in the ECHL.
Well, good for him. You're moving up the ranks in that junior hockey.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Some trade rumors to talk about Jacob Chikrin.
This is interesting.
There are rumors about Coyotes defenseman Jacob Chikrin may be a dark horse acquisition to the Ottawa Senators to finalize their rebuilding piece. Chikrin to Ottawa, yes or no?
Ottawa should definitely be in the running. I've also heard teams like LA and Toronto have interest in him as well. So a lot of teams are going to want to acquire young defensemen like Chichirin. And I don't know necessarily who gives up the most. I mean, personally, if I'm Don Sweeney, I'm looking at this saying, all right, we'll try to, maybe give up a young defenseman of our own to acquire someone like Chichirin. Well, obviously, if the Bruins acquired him, I would be pretty happy about that. But I think a realistic landing spot for him would be Toronto, especially if Toronto potentially moves a contract piece in the offseason. I think this trade makes sense. Unlike kind of the Klingberg situation, Chichirin not necessarily wants to stay in Arizona, but he's not like, I demand a trade. He's more of like, all right, I'm kind of in the trade rumors. Whatever happens, happens. I'm kind of cool with whatever. I feel like that's Chichirin's approach to this. Probably is going to want to get traded to a contender, considering, Arizona hasn't done much since they drafted him a few years back. But if I'm looking at this from Ottawa's standpoint, yeah, I would acquire him because you have the salary cap to give him a long-term extension, and you probably only have to give up, a second or third round pick with some other, young pieces probably. I'd do it if I was Ottawa.
Yeah. All right, we have our another nostalgia of the week. Right? Yeah. Oh, don't look at that. Trevor Daley's came out of retirement. Who even of all the people, Trevor Daley?
Well, wasn't on my 2022 bingo card, but Trevor Daley was a decent defenseman. And, if he wants to play, let him play. He's still in his, I think, mid to late 30s, I'm pretty sure. Trevor Daley. I think he's been retired since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's 38. Why not? Why not have him play? Over 1,000 games, 2-time Cup winner with the Penguins, and they end up playing for the Florida Everblades. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what Trevor Daley brings in the ECHL. So, yeah.
We will have to do a game alert if he scores.
Yeah, I'll definitely look. We have an interesting caption contest. First one is UC Saros. Let's look at some comments.
Oh, mine was the best.
Well, it looks like opening the bathroom stall.
That's my man Mason.
Yeah. You, when you get cramped during a fire
I don't even know what I was thinking.
Oh, and Owen, when you pull all the ladies, it occurs to you that you've been played. Oh.
That one's accurate too.
Oh. Oof. When you get cramped during a fire drill. All right, here's a funny fire drill joke. So I saw like a puppet show. It was from one of the summer school series, and they play like a fire drill sound effect, and like the teacher is like, everybody go run in the corner and panic, just sit in the classroom at the corner and just panic, and the firefighter just kind of says, there's a fire, you guys should go outside.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Funny stuff. Matt Boldy scores first NHL goal in his first game in front of this hometown arena while defeat 3-2 over the Boston Bruins. And
that was a good game. You go.
And do you know what they call it? They call it Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. No, Massachusetts. I like the Massachusetts. But no, this was a great game to watch last Thursday. I'll tell you that much. ESPN, good job producing this game. Bruins are wild out of themselves a day. This was Rossi's debut, and then obviously you got the first career goal by the other rookie for Minnesota who was playing, and then it was a very good game. Minnesota ended up winning 3-2. It was a fun game, and it was definitely nice to see Matt Boldy's family celebrate after scoring his first ever goal late in that second period. That ultimately was the shifting point of that game. It was awesome job by both teams, and not saying Stanley Cup match, but maybe definitely one of the potential Stanley Cup final matches. If you're looking prior to the trade deadline, this could be a potential prediction for many.
Yes. Oh, and also some notable news that we forgot. Chris Pronger will have his number retired at the Enterprise Center. And do you know what we always look? See if it's on national TV.
Chris Pronger's not going to be. Not big enough of a name.
January 17 against the Predators. Let's see. Local market. Yeah, shocker.
Yeah, I mean, if Hendrik Lundqvist's jersey retirement wasn't nationally televised, that's where I'm convinced where, unless it's literally Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin, or like Connor McDavid 30 years from now, every jersey that's getting retired is locally televised. And I think that is absolutely stupid. You've heard me and Alex rant about this before. If a jersey's getting hung up to the rafters, you make that game nationally televised. I don't care if it's a franchise icon, a Hall of Famer like Chris Pronger. If you're retiring a number, you put the game on national TV. It's not rocket science. You may have to budget with other games, other networks, but the moral of the story is NHL Network should if TNT or ESPN can't. That's the moral of the story.
Yes. We got another caption contest featuring Joel Farabee. Walk of shame. All right. Former guest Seth Chasen. When you're in the middle of playing video games and your mother tells you to clean your bedroom, that's already clean.
Oh, yes. We can relate to that one, Seth. Man, when are we getting Seth back on the show? It's been a while.
Yeah. And shout out to Ice Hockey Memes.
Our biggest fan. Confirmed.
When mom says no McDonald's, there's food at home.
I can relate to that one as well.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'll tell you my comment, which I'm gonna type right now. When your team lost to the Bruins, when they were leading 2-0 and blew and allow 6 goals.
I'll type mine in right now too, and we get to refresh the page.
There we go.
All right, what's mine gonna be?
Are we like commenting?
All right, here we go. I got mine.
Refresh. Yeah, this is gonna get clipped.
Just coming up with the captions in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, when you say rain, go away, but the rain doesn't stop. Massive W.
Rain, go away. And then you hear like a friggin' like thunderstruck, and you're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. All right, we got another jersey retirement. Technically, Rick Jenneret.
We don't even need to look up if this one's nationally televised or not. We know this one's a fat no.
You know what? I'm gonna check.
Oh, I mean, respect to Rick. He only's been commentating the Sabres since the 1980s. You think you would properly honor him. Not even the 70s.
On April 1st.
Mayday, Mayday, and all those classic impressions, and oh my goodness.
Yeah. April 1st, 2022. Per NHL.com says locally televised. Oh!
What a shocker! What an absolute shocking revelation. That would have been crazy, though. Hall of Fame broadcaster gets the nationally televised game, but the Hall of Fame player don't. Ooh, that would have been something.
Mm-hmm. Now we got a certain person that shouldn't. Well, probably the last time that he's gonna laugh. He's gonna be on the news. Evander Kane.
Oh no.
His contract's terminated, so.
Well, yeah, now officially a free agent. The Sharks, San Jose, and Barracuda came together in a meeting, and they were like, all right, Evander Kane did something stupid with his COVID vaccine card again. Do we care? No? release.
Yes.
Basically, San Jose and Barracuda are like, Evander Kane, enough for you.
It was 4-1!
Yeah. Well, this is your annual Maple Leaf choke. I mean, last year they had the 5-1 loss to the Senators. The Maple Leafs really didn't have a devastating loss yet. You know, you besides the playoffs, and we already know Toronto's getting whooped when the playoffs come around. But you know, in 2019 you had David Ayers. Last year you had the Senators, and then this year, just like every other time the Maple Leafs lead by over 3 goals, you can't get excited. You got to be shaking in your boots. You got to wait for the Steve Dangle rant and rave afterwards, because you know that lead is not staying intact. It doesn't matter who you have. Peter Mrazek, Jason Campbell, Frederick Anderson playing great in Game 7s. It don't matter. The moral of the story is whoever your goalie is, James Reimer and Jonathan Bernier from back in the day, it don't matter if you have Felix Potvin. You're blowing that lead. The Maple Leafs know the rule. Always make sure we can laugh at them at least once a month. That's the rule. Must be some unwritten rule that the NHL hasn't made official yet, but it's becoming into one.
Yes. Lightning round. Thomas Hurl with the overtime hat trick to beat the Philadelphia Flyers 3-2. I think James Van Riemsdyk got 2 goals, so just Hurl and Van Riemsdyk went at it.
I mean, that's how you do it. Logan, you sure got the hat trick for the overtime goal, too.
All right. Grant, I know you're a Kings fan. You might have a rant, but I think a certain person pretty much came down to LA for a visit. Mr. Mark.
Well, there's 2 things to talk about. There's 2 things to dissect here. First things first, a 5-year extension to Rob Blake.
Oh.
That's fine. I mean, he's not the best GM out there, but he's far from the worst. He's definitely improved. I mean, if you were to tell me he deserved a 5-year extension back in 2018 or 2019, I would have said absolutely not. But you take a look at how the Kings have kind of done this rebuild. They have built a defense around Cal Peterson. Their offense stays intact, and they're doing a nice job developing a lot of their AHL guys, especially the bottom 6. I say that 5-year extension for Rob Blake is deserved. I got no complaints there. Oh, but what I will question is, why are you hiring Mike Bergevin? Really, why are you hiring Mark Bergevin? There is no reason for you to necessarily do this. You hire him as the senior advisor to Rob Blake. Essentially, you are letting Mark Bergevin tell Rob Blake who he should trade for and acquire in free agency. We know the golden rule. If they speak French, they're going to be on the Kings within the next 2 years. We know the Mark Bergevin rule. But that's not the point. The point is, you're going to hire a GM who, I get it, you want to hire him because of his recent success. Even though we know it's a fluke, you still want to hire him because of his recent success. And that's why when Montreal fired him about a month ago, I was like, hey, why is Montreal firing their GM who just led them to a Stanley Cup? Even though, yes, it was a fluke and Montreal's playing bad right now. Bruins were beating the Canadiens 3-0 last I checked as we speak. You know, Montreal's in free-for-all. That's the moral of the story. Yeah, they're without Carey Price. Yeah, they're without Shea Weber, but they're in free-for-all. And to fire Bergevin, maybe I wouldn't have done it so quickly. I probably would have waited till the offseason to do it. But they did. Okay, Kings pick him up, and now it's interesting because really, he's not notorious for picking up the most quality players, and Montreal's prospects pool's kind of in the middle of the pack where LA's is, I would say, somewhere in the top 10 AHL teams right now, at least prospect-wise. It's interesting, and we'll see, a year or two down the road. Maybe Bergevin's just here for the rest of the year and then he gets fired. Who knows? But the issue is they brought him in, and I wouldn't have done it, but maybe Rob Blake knows something we don't, and he just wants to give Bergevin a shot. We'll see.
Yeah. You know why? Let's see. Tyler Toffoli coming back to LA.
That's right.
Yeah. Who would we even thought about that? All right, now it's time for our rant hours. You know what? I'm gonna start first. Zach Fucale, Vitek Vanacek. What happened for the last 3 games? You deservedly think that losing to St. Louis, of all the teams that they would lose, 6-1? That's all you got? Congratulations, Washington, you done it. Congrats. Justin Schultz, where were you? You should be gone right now since you're dead last. Can we do a hashtag free Matt Irwin? Hashtag trade Justin Schultz and hashtag free Nick Jensen? Justin Schultz is now Nick Jensen 2.0, like before he scored his first goal as a Capital. He scored 2 goals. Justin Schultz from the home opener. And now against LA. Who we thought about that? You should get 5. Now let's get back to Minnesota. Mr. Carl Hagelin.
Oh, this was great.
What happened? Okay. I kind of defend Carl Hagelin about the own goal. But in reality, that's totally unnecessary. Yes, I understand that they were going for a penalty kill. I get it. He was trying to clear the zone. Where were you aiming? And guess what? Ryan Hartman somehow scored a goal and he got a penalty. So what does that mean? And guess what? You lost the power play. All right. Woo! You blew a 2-0 lead that was undeservedly, well, the Caps fakely win it in a shootout. It's a tie per Grant on the 2021 Stanley Cup playoffs in Game 1.
Yes.
It's a tie. You lost to a shootout, but it was Zach Fucale who was in net. You know, I'll give him a round of applause for Fucale for staying the longest time as far as not allowing a goal goes. Good job. Now we got a big one. The big one last Monday. According to my phone. All right, let's just talk about the stats. All right, cool. 1-0 Capitals, 2-0 Capitals. Con Sherry scored both goals. Great job, Sherry. I love it. Keep the same energy. You know what I mean? 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2. 6-2. You allowed 6 goals. And you know who was involved in that 6 goalie? Mr. Matt Grzelcyk. He scored 5.
Grzelcyk had 5 points. He had 5 points, and deservingly so. Tying Ray Bork for most points against the Capitals since 1994.
You allowed 6 goals. And Oshie, great job for keeping the pace. Keep the same energy. That's what I actually said. 7-3. Do you know what I did? I went Steve Dangle rage. I cried in the corner over there for like 30 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I lay down in my bed trying to process this loss. What happened? And it's kind of like that needs Steve Dangle therapy. About when they lost to a 42-year-old damn bunny driver who works for them. And guess what? Fucali, you've done it again.
He's not good. Fucali is not good. I don't care what you say, bro. He was literally an AHL goalie up until this year. Like, he sucks. The Bruins are going to rip him apart for 7 goals. If he was playing Edmonton or Toronto, they probably would have scored 9 goals. The Capitals goalies are not good. I'm referring to Vanacek as Vanachoke until further notice now, because what do you know? He hasn't shed the choke label, and he hasn't shed the choke label against the Bruins either. This is a team who the Capitals dominate every year in the regular season, and had a 2-0 lead at home. You allow 6 straight goals. My God. This was a beatdown before you even knew it. You know what's jump-started the Bruins' comeback, right? When Nick Dowd broke Brad Marchand's nose and Marchand scored on that power play. I knew right there, I'm like, so Boston's winning this game. I knew right there when Marchand scored with his broken nose. I'm like, it's over. Capitals, you've done it to yourself again. No heroic Game 1 Craig Anderson from the playoffs is going to stop you tonight. No 2018 Brain won't be stopping you tonight. The Bruins are on kill, locate, destroy. And that's what it was. And again, Matt Grzelcyk, career night for him. 5 points, goal, 4 assists. Most points by a Bruin defenseman since Ray Bourque, who did it back in 94. I mean, good stuff there.
January 10th, 2022. Mark it down your calendars for Matt Grzelcyk night.
That's right.
All right, we're going to be back in about 3 minutes because we have a flashback. We will be back.
We got a flashback from like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we will be back. We'll see you guys soon.
True nostalgia of the week. Return to the Bruins.
Oh, God.
But not really.
You did it, Sweeney. You did it. You have pissed off every single Bruin fan in the nation. That is what you have done by doing this. You're telling me Jeremy Swayman needs more time in the AHL. I say you are the worst GM in hockey. Get next to Benning. Get next to Chiarelli. Get next in line to get axed. You're seriously either going to risk the chance of putting Swayman in the AHL or put Allmark on waivers just to have Rask as your backup for 1 more year. And he ain't even going to be the backup. He's going to be starter because tradition. He's going to be the starting goaltender. Oh, yes, they signed him as an emergency goalie for now. Yeah, he's an emergency goalie for now, but guess what he's not going to be? When he's fully recovered in January or February. That's when they sign him to the 1-year deal. Swayman's either going to get booted, undeservedly booted to the AHL, or you're going to risk the chance of putting Allmark on waivers. Let's be real, Allmark is getting claimed on waivers. So what, you just paid Allmark 3 years for nothing? This was an awful idea. And I knew this was coming from a mile away. When Rask was practicing with the Bruins over the summer and during his surgery, I'm like, oh no, he's going to sign here. And when Tuukka Rask kept on saying to the media, I'll sign anywhere, but I really want to re-sign with the Bruins. I'm thinking, oh no, here we go again. He ain't leaving us just yet. And further proof of this is being an emergency goaltender. I mean, how could he even be an emergency goaltender? I thought this guy couldn't even play until January. Wow, okay, Swayman's hurt. Allmark's on the COVID list. Who are you going to call up? Colin Booth? He stinks. You're going to put in Rask for half a game? An injured Rask? Why would we want to see that? If he plays in a game right now, you're probably going to slower his development to come back anyway. This was something the Bruins should have avoided. They didn't. They got themselves into a mess because Rask is not going to want to be the third-string goaltender. Rant's over. I'm mad.
We have our
The rant's over, and I'm still mad. Oh, dear Lord. What do we have here? Oh, Tuukka Rask, 1 year, $1 million, re-signing with the Bruins for the rest of the year. Okay, what a shocker. We knew this was going to coming. Oh, what's that? Jeremy Swayman undeservedly got booted to the AHL? Wow, it's like this management learns nothing. Don Sweeney, message to you. Please relieve your duties after this season. You love Tuukka Rask, and I get it. He is arguably the greatest Bruin regular season goalie of all time. Notice why I said regular season. He ain't nowhere near the accomplishments Tim Thomas did during his playoff run. I'm sorry, but I'm not happy with this move. Jeremy Swayman, you're telling me this guy has been up in the NHL for the past year, and he has done just – the Bruins need a fresh start with the goaltender. That's their main issue. Jeremy Swayman does not deserve to get booted down. And again, you pay Allmark 3-year contract. He's going to get claimed on waivers, so you don't want to put him down. With a shutout this year, he's 8-6-2 with a .918 save percentage. Lost his last game against Minnesota, but, you know, whatever. We were talking about that game earlier on the show. That was just a great game by both teams. Swayman's stats on paper don't look fantastic. He's not the best goalie in the world. I do think he's the best goalie on the team currently. But here's the issue with this. You are shattering this guy's confidence. You basically say at the beginning of the year, you're our starting goalie. And you're going to put him in the AHL less than 4 months later because the goalie who, dare I say, is turning into that ex-girlfriend who you just can't get enough of is coming back and coming back and coming back. Why? He shouldn't. He shouldn't. Tuukka Rask should not be on the Bruins. They got to avoid him moving forward. I swear to the hockey lords, this is officially my last year tolerating Tuukka Rask as a member of the Boston Bruins. I'm just done with it. This guy has shown me for a decade now he cannot win in the playoffs. Jeremy Swayman is a question mark. Linus Ullmark is a question mark. I want a goalie who can potentially win in the playoffs. And Rask, he's just going to show you again that you're losing in the second round. Bruins already have a weaker defense than they did last year. It's not looking good. It is just not looking good. The rant is over. Moral of the story, don't sign Rask when you have a 23-year-old NHL caliber goaltender starting to tear it up. Unbelievable. Jeremy Swayman, I cannot wait to see it either later this season or next year, man. As you got a bright future in this league, unlike that old geezer who just refuses to retire. Rant's over. But I am not happy about this. And again, Sweeney, try to avoid Rask next year, dude. You just got to.
Let him retire.
Please retire, Rask. It's not that hard. You've won your cup. Yeah, you were a backup, but you won your cup. What else are you trying to do? Go play in Finland. Be with your family.
Get a President's Trophy? Koski. Be with Korpikoski.
Yes, be with Korpikoski and like every other forgotten Finland player. Dude, Swayman in the AHL.
Right, we're done?
Garbage. But he'll be back. And Providence Bruins for your Calder Cup champion. You heard it here first.
Why is this dude on the news?
Oh, great. So, as I will pick up with my Rask rant, Evander Kane will also get my rage. Or rather, Ken Holland will. Evander Kane just trying to live a life and try to regain the spot on AHL roster. So Ken Holland believes in second chances. San Jose gave him about 4 chances in the past 6 months. What are you talking about second chances? You had the girlfriend incident, the second girlfriend incident, the vaccine situation, throwing teammates under the bus situation. 4 issues in 6 months. The bankruptcy issue, 5 issues in 7 months. He's had 5 chances, Ken. What are you doing? Get Evander Kane off your signing list. Just stop. Don't even dare give him a professional tryout. Don't even just ignore him. Just ignore he's there. Really. Yes, he has talent. But the NFL has even shown if you're a nutcase, they don't care about the talent. You don't deserve a spot on a roster. Evander Kane is that situation in the NHL. Yes, if you put Evander Kane on that second line, he's going to produce 40 points at minimum if he stays healthy, if he stays out of trouble, if he stays productive. But those are all ginormous ifs. He's not going to. He may not even be able to play until he passes NHLPA protocols. Because he's on the verge of getting suspended. Don't do it, Edmonton. Or any team. Don't do it. In Carolina, if you sign him, I will play the Crash Brass Bonanza for the entire program. Just an hour loop of the car Crash Brass Bonanza if he signs with the Hurricanes.
Yeah. That's why I commented, hey Grant, get ready for the car crash sound effect if he signs with the
Yeah, Carolina, Edmonton, Toronto, Florida, Tampa, Boston, Montreal, Buffalo, anybody who wants them, stop and look at the mirror and say, do I want to deal with this guy getting fined close to $1 million by the league within the next year? No. There's a reason to not sign him.
All right, dude. Do you want to end it off on a good note? I think we should.
I think we got to simmer down. We had the Alex rant hour. We had the Grant rant hour. And then we had the Evander Kane is stupid hour. So we're going to go end it off with a jersey unveiling.
Springfield Thunderbirds has unveiled their new specialty jersey that will be worn for this season. And inspires the team before the Springfield Thunderbirds, the Springfield Falcons, and they will first wear it this Saturday. W or L?
Oh, ginormous, insurmountable W. This is a fantastic jersey. I mean, you have the bird with the sword, with the puck, with the team name. That light blue is one of my favorite colors. It's a fantastic jersey. A little bit busy, but when you have a sick design like that, it's okay to have a busy jersey. This is fantastic.
Yeah, because like we said, AHL alternate jerseys can get away with it because they can go nuts at any time. I'm gonna say it's a W because of the homage. The Springfield Falcons original logo. And here I'll give you an example. Springfield Thunderbirds Instagram. Do you want a good example? How about this? Inspired by the 1995. That's what you call a W for bringing back the 90s.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like the Providence Bruins, they had their Calder Cup championship jersey back in the early 90s or the 80s. So if you're bringing like a old jersey as your alternate this year, massive W.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice way to pay homage to, the teams in the past, but also if you do it correctly, it looks really nice. Yeah. No more input. It's an AHL jersey. They can get a little off the walls, but that one was definitely designed properly.
Yes. All right, so that's gonna wrap up for season 4, episode 22 of the Powerskateshow. Who's happy that we ended it on a good note with the jersey? Me.
Enough of the yelling. Enough of the Vanacek stinks and why is Rask being signed and just Evander Kane existing. We're going to end the show off on a good note.
Yes. With that, if you guys want to follow our personal social media accounts, links will be in the description below. Do you guys want to follow the Powerskateshow for news, updates when we go live, and all this amazing stuff? Links will be in the description below. Follow Grant on his Instagram, Franchise Sports News, and his YouTube, Floodster Sports Zone. And also check out my Instagram and my YouTube. My YouTube is going to be out on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm premiering it. Spoiler, it's an hour and 43 minutes long.
Almost 2-hour video?
Yeah, it's from my hockey road trip. I put a disclaimer from the front. You all guys know.
That's awesome. I mean, you really do edit your videos like top notch. So
yeah,
you do a good job with that.
Yeah, and you guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just kind of saying that. Of course, the interview on Saturday, and then I'll be broadcasting NFL playoffs the next few weeks. So make sure again, Fletcher Sports Zone, go check those out.
And go tune in on Saturday for the interview. Another breakout year for the boys. It's gonna be fun. I'm actually gonna post it after this show. As far as like scheduling the live streaming goes, and all that. So you guys have to set your reminders, and all that. You have to do something to share, and all that to see this amazing interview that we're gonna pull up. And thank you to Charlie Serrato for following the Powerskateshow Instagram. Means a lot to us, and we're looking forward to see what we're going to show on Saturday. And Grant, would you like to add anything before we see you all guys on Saturday?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty excited for the interview, though. Again, I think it's about time we get someone to interview here on the podcast, and I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be a great experience for us. Hopefully a great experience for Charlie and a great experience for the show and the longtime subscribers. This is going to be a fun one, so you're not going to want to miss it again. 7:15 Eastern Time this Saturday.
Yes. And tell all your friends. Go watch the Saturday's interview with Charlie Serrato from USA Hockey. With that, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a good night, everybody.